Hello and welcome to a new episode of Never Onside. Football is well and truly back with the Premier League, Serie A, La Liga, and all the other top five leagues starting. And if you have missed any of this action in the last 2 3 days and the weekends, Never Onside is here to catch you up on everything you need to know. Hi, this is Joseph, and joining me as usual is Mayur Chopadekar from Mumbai. Hi,
Hi
Mayur.
Oza. Hi Oza, how are you doing?
I'm great. Football is back, and we are getting to see a lot of matches now. And last 2 3 months were, we just wanted football to be back, and it is well and truly back. So let's get this going. And this season, the Premier League had a lot of dramatic moments in this game week, and the Conte Tuchel drama topped it all. And let's just recap all the matches from the Premier League. In case if we have missed anything, we'll be covering in-depth analysis of some of the top matches which happened during the game week. So to start off, we are moving to Arsenal versus Leicester, which was a 4-2 win for Arsenal, and it was a Gabriel Jesus show, and something which he could have done in the first game week. He has turned up in the second game week, and has brought the goods that Arteta wanted. And some of the finishing that he displayed was sensational, especially the first goal when things were tight. He came up with an amazing finish to hand Arsenal the lead. Mayu, did you watch this match?
Yes, I watched this match. I had Jesus in my FPL team, so always very keen on Arsenal games and the way they are playing. It's irresistible for me to like not want to watch them. It's just pure magic at the moment, and the way they are playing, I'm liking it. As you mentioned, Jesus, he's all over the place. He's just not scoring, but the way he runs off the ball, always trying to pressure opponents, trying to go in the space and helping his teammates around him. He's just a phenomenal player. And whatever we thought about him in City, we always thought he might be depending, because it was City, he might be using that to his benefit or everything. But now we have truly seen what is the caliber of
Yeah,
that player and how he can change game on his own.
yeah. We were discussing that in the first match, Jesus didn't score, but eventually he has done, and this is a turning point in Arsenal's season because everyone is clicking now, and this is a team to watch, which we are all excited to see, and they have started on the right foot. And the next match is Man City versus Bournemouth, which was again KDB masterclass. We were all expecting a Haaland masterclass, but he was overshadowed by KDB. And I read an article saying that Haaland had just touched the ball 8 times, in which one was headed clearance, I guess, and one was off the on the kickoff spot. So effectively, six touches he had. One was a one was an assist.
Assist.
So is that something which we should be worried about having? Haaland in our FPL team as well, and also since we were expecting at least a hat trick from Haaland in the home match, and he came away with just 8 touches of the
Assist.
ball. And is that something to worry?
I think over time, it's just at the moment that the players are not finding him. As in, there was a clear opportunity for Foden to pass the ball to him. Pep even mentioned that in his press post-match conference. He said out of the 10 times, 8 or 9 times Foden passes that ball to the center striker. So it's nothing to worry about. It's just giving them time to find Haaland in spaces eventually, and it after that it's just like 1 2 goals every match. That's the whole thing I think about. And Gundogan was very key. He and Haaland combined very well for that first goal. he ran into the space which was evacuated due to Haaland. Like because of the fear of Haaland, all the center backs were trying to go towards him, and Gundogan saw his moment to run into that space, and he took the ball from Haaland very well, and he just scored that goal. So nothing to worry about as of Haaland. It's just a matter of time, and he will start clicking. As we have seen for most of the City players in the past, they just need a bit of time. Once they start clicking, it's just game over.
Yeah, so another thing I noticed is that City are so used to playing without a striker that most of the times a lot of people are coming into spaces which should be used by Haaland. Um, One of the goals was through Gundogan coming in close with Haaland, but throughout the game I felt like it did hamper his game because it was getting too crowded and he was getting overlooked sometimes. So moving forward, I think Bournemouth were almost putting a low block, and
Yes,
we are sure that in such games, Haaland would would not be getting a lot of touches. I think he had 17 touch every 17 minutes or something like that. We'll have to see what happens there. But with or without Haaland scoring, they would end up
obviously dominate. Yes,
winning 4-0, which is, Pep wouldn't mind that.
definitely.
And next one was the Southampton Leeds game, was also a good match. I think Leeds went 2-0 up, and then Southampton came back in the second half.
Yes,
Um, yeah. So another game which was interesting was the Nottingham Forest West Ham game as well. Nottingham Forest scored a goal, and West Ham struggled to break down the defense, but they had a lot of chances. Benrahma
yes.
hitting the post, and
That
another
bad
day it would have
penalty.
been, yeah, and it would have been 2-1. I think Henderson saved that penalty, right?
Yes,
Yeah, this week again. Yeah. So another interesting match was the Liverpool Crystal Palace match. Crystal Palace are a well-oiled side. With Vieira, he is very particular about certain things, and his team can do a job on anyone. Like the Crystal Palace DNA is like that. Like they can do it. But under Vieira, it's a bit more tactical and a unit which is functioning well. And Liverpool also struggled to create a lot of chances in the first half, and
yes.
then in the second half, Nunes, he got red carded right in the second half. And what was your take on this match?
So the first half they clearly struggled. Like they had some chances. Trent showed his quality of putting those balls over the last line, which was good to see. Robertson came into some scoring positions, but again they didn't score. Diaz had some good moments. It was a matter of like confidence. That goal by Diaz definitely gives him a lot of confidence in the
That
further
was a
games as well.
wonderful goal. Like that
Wonderful.
was such a crazy good goal. And the thing is, Nunes came into a lot of good positions, and he should have scored at least two goals, which were clear chances. But I think his frustration was a result of this, because he knew playing for Liverpool, you should be scoring those chances. And I think Anderson got under his skin, and eventually, it was a it's a classic moment in Premier League,
Premier.
because it's always fun to watch. Liverpool go one down and fighting back
Yes.
at Anfield. And Diaz was everywhere. Like Diaz was everywhere. Like he was running the show towards the end. And I'm really disappointed at Salah to an extent, because he wasn't taking the honest, right?
But at the death he had a chance, so maybe it was just he's not getting into his positions at this time of point. So eventually he will, because of Nunes. He has been going far more to the outside than coming inside,
Right
which
side,
he
yeah.
used to do.
Yeah.
But let's see, again a team which wasn't really focusing on playing with a proper number 9 has to change its shape and everything around when Nunes comes in. So again it's a team just taking some time, and again they would be again coming into picture soon.
Yeah, another highlight of this is that Liverpool's lack of depth in midfield, because when Thiago is out, they struggle to put in the eye of the needle passes which they need in such crunch games. So yeah, so that is just a roundup of the things, and we'll be covering the three um, United match and the Chelsea match in detail, right? Yeah,
Yes.
moving forward. Yeah, so this is the Chelsea versus Spurs match. Yeah, Mayur, you can take this forward.
Yes. So we saw how Chelsea were so dominant. Everyone expected Spurs to have a good game, but we saw Chelsea dominated throughout the game. The reason was in the past, in the month of March, if I remember correctly, they played at that point of time, and Tuchel implemented the same tactic where off the ball they play with a 5-3-2, where Loftus-Cheek comes as the right wing back, and the Mount and Kante fall back as the in the eighth position, and they are man marking basically the other eights, which were Hoiberg and Bentancur on the other side. So that was their main job of the ball. On the ball, as we can see, Loftus-Cheek came into a number 10 position to thread passes through the half spaces for Howard Sterling. Mount went on the left hand side. He formed a double 10 with RLC. So this was the whole off the ball and on the ball movement, which Tuchel implemented very well. Initially, we saw Chelsea should have buried goals and should have came out as victorious in this match. They would consider this as a big loss considering they dominated the game throughout but couldn't convert those chances. So it's a letter for them, and hopefully that is the only thing which I feel might cost them not ending in top four. This killer instinct where you
Yeah,
dominate the game throughout but you can't kill the game. So that
yes,
is the
yes.
whole thing which keeps them a bit away from the top four teams currently. And in second half, Conte saw this and he changed his tactics to a 4-3-3, where we saw they tried to score goals. They got some opportunities, but even gave two opportunities to Chelsea and Reece James second goal,
Yeah,
which they left Davis completely open on that side, and
yeah,
James just had to finish a one-on-one, which you bet your money on James always. So he did it very calmly. And then again, Conte realized that he came back to his original position 3-4-3, sent Perisic out to play as the wing back. And eventually, in the last, you saw, I am not sure if you saw that or not, but Perisic took two corners and he took both the corners with two different feet. So that's something very amazing. I found
yeah,
he can
yeah,
do
yeah.
that skill. That's a party trick, basically. So I was very happy with that. And yeah, eventually, even Conte understood his limitations and he worked on it. So again, a good game for Chelsea, but they should be gutted that they didn't come out with a victory.
Yeah, so for me, Sterling and Havertz are not very, adept in finishing clinically. Havertz had a glorious chance which he should have buried from that cross. I think it was it from James? I think it was from
Yes,
James.
yes, it was a very
Yeah,
good ball from James.
yeah, so he should have buried that. And two Cucurella and Colobelli were very good. Cucurella was impressive with the first corner, I guess, which he took,
Yes,
which Colobelli scored. And if you look at it, this game, two of the goals were from a set piece, right?
yes,
There wasn't anything remarkable about this match except the tactical aspect of it.
yes.
And what added the spice to this encounter was, of course, what happened on the touchline between Conte and Tuchel. And this is some classic Mourinho, Arsene Wenger, or
Vibes.
Saf Arsene Wenger type of thing. But it did go get a little out of hand towards the
Yes.
end, or let's say the handshake was a bit too forceful. So it was fun because the Premier League
Definitely.
is known for such things, and these kind of passionate managers. We saw Tuchel running down the touchline to celebrate. We have seen a lot of iconic moments with Chelsea managers running down the touchline,
Down the line.
and
Yes.
Conte later said in his Instagram post, had he seen him, he would have tripped him. That was hilarious. because knowing Conte, we know that he would definitely we wouldn't be surprised if he actually did that, right? Yeah, so that is the part, and I'm very surprised that Tottenham didn't impress me. Like Son and company didn't impress me, and Tuchel did a tactical job on them with James,
Marking.
hunting down
Son.
Son at every chance. So yeah, that was an interesting match, and this match is very important. And you saw the passion because not only because of Conte's history with Chelsea, but at the end of the day, these would be the two teams who would be fighting for that top four
Of course.
position, and this is something to look out for. And I'm sure we'll see a lot more of this going forward. Yeah. So moving forward, we have my favorite club, Manchester United, and I don't know. We are lost for words. At least I am lost for words about what is happening in my club. And one thing is for sure, everyone is taking the blame. And this is a passing game where Maguire passes the blame to, like he takes honest and he says, "Yeah, I did it." Last game he said, one game Maguire says, "Yeah, I'll take the honest. It's my mistake." The next game, De Gea comes up and says, "Yeah, it was my mistake." Such a blatant error, and so these are professional players, and we expect much better from them. And Eric Ten Hag, I don't think any manager can do anything about the first two goals, because those two errors were from De Gea, and so yeah, this is something which is very disheartening. But United fans are used to this, so it shouldn't come as a surprise.
Yes.
Yeah. So
So
what do you think?
so while I was watching the game, it was very funny. I couldn't stop laughing looking at the first two goals. It it felt like some of my friends were playing in that field. It's like so silly mistake. It you could see they were tactically well set up. Even Thomas Frank said at the end they had a game plan. They had to target Martinez. They said they had to press high. They learned from Brighton how to press them high. They knew their outlet was only Eriksen. Jansen
Yep.
was completely man marking Eriksen.
Yep.
Dagia couldn't pass the ball like far off than the half line. So again, these are some simple mistakes. I know you can see Tenag wants to play some kind of a football, like his kind of football, but you can see his players are not capable. The only player capable are being completely man marked and then taken out of the game. So it's just funny at this moment, and I'm just enjoying. So I don't have any
So
more words. But
take us to the next slide where you'll see the lineup. I'll just take you through this. So De Gea started goal, and Martinez and Maguire uh, played as the two center backs. And basically, what happened is instead of Fred playing the pivot role, Ericsson came in and tried to build up play with Maguire, Martinez, and Ericsson being the three people who would start the playoff. And Shaw and Dalot would effectively go into the midfield and create an overload. And if any of Brighton's midfielders decided to press the ball, other than the two strikers from Brighton, if anyone else tried to press the ball, that was the trap that Eric Ten Hag was setting. And the moment that happened, someone would switch the ball to one of the fullbacks, Dalot or Shaw, and United would move forward. That is the plan. That was
plan.
the plan on paper, and what transpired was something completely different. And the problem here was that I'll take you through the first goal where United were building up play, and Ericsson ended up passing the ball to Maguire, and that pass to Maguire was very straight at him, so he had to open his body up and then tried to find Dalot on the right side, but it didn't happen, and he got pressed because the outlet was very clear that it was going to be Maguire, and Brighton were very clever, and they decided to press Maguire even as soon as the ball was on Ericsson's feet. And this ended up in a turnover, but it went for a throw. And in that after the throw, United took the throw and lost possession, and Brighton shifted the play to the right side, and United players were a bit out of position, and the goal was very very schoolboy error
Yeah.
from De Gea. Yeah, so that was the first goal, which was a mistake from the build-up itself, and it cost United because it went into their goal post because of a mistake from De Gea, or else we wouldn't have noticed that. Yeah, so yeah, that was the first one. The second one was very clear. United building up play, and De Gea chose the wrong option, going for Ericsson, who was being marked by Jensen very cleverly, and he put his foot in, and fortunately it dropped kindly for him, and he finished it well. So two mistakes from the built up itself, and the third goal I think was a headed goal, and that was a mistake because United didn't defend. So United deployed a man to man
Man.
and a zonal hybrid system where I think three of the United players would try to stop the Brentford defenders running in, and somehow Rashford I think missed Nordgaard, and Nordgaard right before the corner kick was taken, he went near De Gea and tried to pressure him, and that is why De Gea couldn't come out and collect it, and Dalot also missed him, and that was how the first goal, like the third
Third goal.
goal happened. That was also an error, and the fourth goal was a classic, counter-attacking goal. I think Maguire should have tracked Tony's run, but he didn't. United were in a good position then, but then I think it's a lack of confidence and also a lack of concentration. Because they went three down, they thought like. It doesn't matter even if more goals go in, we have to score. So it was that kind of thing, and
Attitude.
there are a lot of issues with this United side, but the main issue I feel is that we have a squad um, which um, which might not suit Eric Ten Hag's vision right now. And also a squad which, if you look at the on paper, and if you tell me these players are not playing for United, then this is a decent line, like a squad which should finish in the top six, because you see players like Ronaldo. Just forget Rashford and Sancho were had poor form in the last 2 years, but still then look at the front five: Sancho, Ronaldo, Rashford, Ericsson, Fernandes. That is a
It's
really good side which should at least finish in the top six, right? Without any issues. And then the main issue here is that I think Eric Ten Hag wants certain players in certain positions and the whole squad to take up his philosophy. So when you are playing out from the back, Maguire has to show Ericsson some has to run in order to give
give an
Ericsson
option.
a chance to pass to him. If you're static while building up, especially your two center backs, then it's easier for the opposition to press you comfortably. So that is what happened, and I think Dalot is such a terrible player. I don't know how he gets away with it, but people don't see it because a lot of mistakes happen from his
From
side,
the
uh, and also the build up. You can say during the build up, you can blame the people who are directly in the action, but you can also blame the people who were supposed to give the out ball, like the runs to get the out ball. So the alert had some crazy mistakes,
mistakes.
but again, United, you always have a scapegoat, and people go after him no matter what. So that is how a player like Maguire has lost his confidence, because if you see him as a England player, and who plays really well for England, and he's not a remarkable player by any means, but he's a decent player. And this side, I don't know what is the issue. Is it the players? Is it something around the team, or is it the management? or is it the owners? Because everyone now shit has hit the ceiling, and everyone is
Yes.
getting the blames. But this side should be performing well with the people they have, even though they are not the top four or top two kind of a squad, but this is still a decent squad with Varane and all sitting in the bench. So yeah, that is my take on United. And in order to there is no point in blaming anyone right now, because the team is in shambles, and if people need to take onus and take responsibility and start performing. You should be beating Brentford no matter what. You should be Brighton is a better team, I would say, but Brentford, you should be beating them with the sheer quality that you have. So there is a definite drop in confidence, and if United can get a result against, let's say, Liverpool, not even a win, I would say we would get a win, but if you can get a draw, that is when slowly and steadily your confidence starts to increase. So yeah, that is my take on this.
Do you think any chances of Eric Ten Hag maybe getting sacked? I'm not sure, but maybe on that.
Uh,
Any
I don't
bad
think so.
results in the
So
next 2-3 games after
So
Liverpool?
I
That
think,
is.
yeah. So I think that right now everything is set up for Eric Ten Hag, and right now people are saying that already there is not a coherent plan which is happening. And if you sack a manager which you are backing, and you are saying this is our plan, and then you go and sack the manager, then it just justifies what those people are saying about the management and the owners. They don't have any plan. So I wouldn't like to believe that he would get sacked, because if you look at Klopp at Liverpool, initial days, he was also struggling with the players that he had. And this is down to United's lack of planning, where if you are bringing in a manager like Eric Ten Hag, everyone knows that he needs those players, at least in those key positions. And United has not delivered it to him. Yeah.
That is true. So we'll definitely keep an eye on how United perform. So now let's move
Yes.
on. So let's start with La Liga. La Liga started this weekend, and
Yeah.
it wasn't a very good weekend for some top teams in La Liga. Barcelona failed to win their game. Madrid was 1-0 down till halftime. They came back in the second half. Sevilla lost their game, which was 2-1. So just to give you an update, Barcelona had good chances. On another day they win 3-0, 4-0, or maybe even lose 1-0, 2-0, considering they gave. Ter Stegen was a very good player, probably second best player of the night. He saved two or three major saves he made, which could have been definite goals. He made 2 3 good saves. uh, in the forward line, Lewandowski had chances, Rafinha, Dembele had chances. In the second half, when Fati came on, he had chances. But it's just the thing. It's a work in progress. A bit disappointed from Xavi. He was tactically a bit outplayed. We could say that.
Mhm.
But the quality of the players which he possesses, this shouldn't be the result, I feel. It should be something like at least a 1-0, considering the number of chances which we created. So a bit disappointed. And the major,
Yeah, and that too at home, right?
yes,
We
that too
should,
at
we would
home.
be, and I think the first half Barca didn't play well at all.
Yes, they didn't play well, and even in the first half, you could see Araujo was being played as the right back. So we were completely attacking from the left hand side, the Jordi Alba and the Rafinha side. So there are some few problems that we're still figuring out. And as you mentioned, right backs, that is a problem even at our club as of now. There are no certain right backs which Xavi needs. So let's see how that works out. Talking about Madrid were struggling to progress the ball in midfield. We could definitely see the lack of like Casemiro, Modric, and Cruz. That quality which they possess in midfield is somewhat lacking when they don't play, or when they come on as subs. So in the first
Yeah.
half, that was the case. Even Almeria's keeper had a very good game. He saved
Yeah.
quite
Yeah.
a few chances. But in the second half, Madrid being Madrid, they came back and scored 2 goals. So that was it. Talking about Atletico Madrid, they played very well. uh, Atletico Madrid were very good. Talking about Morata scored 2 goals, and Felix had a very brilliant game. He provided 3 assists, was very instrumental, drop deep, instrumented the whole play like a Kevin De Bruyne on his day. And Lemar supported him very well, playing as that eight. So Atletico Madrid, actually, I never thought I would see that, but played very beautiful football on that day, and it was something to admire from Simeone, who is generally not known for that. And then the last match for the weekend was Betis again, who were a top four, like who contested for top four last season and finished sixth or seventh. This season also they are gearing up to challenge the top four again, a team to look out for. So that was La Liga on match day one.
All right. So, do we have any for La Liga? Do we have any prediction for top four right now?
I would say for me it's Barcelona first, second Madrid,
Okay.
third
Surprised.
Atletico, and
Mm.
and fourth maybe I'm not sure, but Betis, or maybe Villarreal as well. I'm not sure about the
All
fourth
right.
position.
All right. So this is Bundesliga, and as usual, we have the usual suspects here: Bayern Munich with a 2-0 win, and Borussia Dortmund with a 3-1 win. And Bayern looked impressive, and the youngster Jamal Musiala, he has scored 3 goals in the first 2 games, and he is someone to watch out for in the future because he looks like a crazy good player right now. And I think Muller also scored. So that was the two scorers from Bayern Munich, and they dominated the game. And I think Mane scored twice, but both of them were offside goals. And yeah, so Bayern, as usual, has won, and Borussia Dortmund uh, won against Freiburg, 1-3, and it was also not an amazing performance from Borussia Dortmund because I think they were 1-0 down and then they came back to 1-0 and then 3-1. I think there was a howler from the Freiburg keeper which led Borussia back into the game. Yeah, and another surprise result is Leverkusen has drawn are in the bottom of the table of the Bundesliga table right now, and I expected them to start a bit more better. And Leipzig has drawn 2-2 with Cologne, who have also started well. Cologne. I think they are fourth right now. Yeah, fourth in the table right now. Yeah, this is a as usual. I would think Bayern Munich would run away with it. And I saw an article by Michael Cox, who wrote the book called The Mixer, which explains about the Premier League and how it has evolved down the years, and from goalkeepers kicking it long to the present day, false nines, and how how football has evolved through the years. So he wrote an article with the Athletic saying that Bayern are too good for the Bundesliga, and they should either start 1-0 down or they should be given penalty points at the start of the season so that they just have to work a bit more harder to win the
Exciting.
league. So that would level the playing
And it
ground,
makes
and
Bundesliga exciting.
yeah, and it would make Bundesliga a bit more interesting because as a sporting, tournament or a spectacle, there is nothing out of the ordinary happening here, and nothing surprising. There is no title race as such, and people are placing the blame on Borussia Dortmund, saying that they have failed the Bundesliga by not giving any title challenges. But how do you expect a team which has 300 million less in revenue than Bayern Munich to
To, com-
to
to
compete
compete.
with them every year? So that is another day, another rant about Bundesliga. And yeah, so
Swiftly moving on
so
to League One.
League One, yeah,
Yes, so League One, it was a different weekend for few of the title contenders. Most of the title contenders drew their games. Only Olympiacos didn't play their game because the pitch wasn't deemed safe to play. The conditions weren't right. Apart from that, Nice, Marseille, Lille, everyone dropped points. Monaco, even Monaco. So and PSG went on their merry way. They won 5-2. But as you might have seen on news, there were some issues regarding Mbappe,
yeah.
who wasn't happy with the service he was getting. There was one pass which was the right option, but the player didn't. Vitinha was the player, didn't chose that option. So Mbappe left running and completely sulked like a small kid.
And he could
Who
have ended up getting a tap in if he had run
Yes, yes.
for
If he
that
would
goal.
have,
Yeah.
there was no one on that left hand side covering, so it would have been a goal if he would have continued his run. So that was it. Neymar is playing really well in
He's
that
a
PSG
man
team.
reborn right now with
Yes,
Messi, and Messi is also looking really good in terms of his
yes,
overall play. And Neymar, and whatever pictures you see of training of players taking a break, like the drinks break now
yes.
because of the summer heat. Like you could see Neymar and Messi staying together. That bond is
Bromance is
stronger
coming
than
back.
ever before, and that is seen in the overall play that is happening between Neymar and Messi. So that
And
was a
yes,
5-2 win for Paris. Yeah.
yes.
Anything else which is out
No,
of the ordinary in this case? No.
no.
Right. So
Everything was normal.
moving forward, we have Serie A, which had a spectacular opening this weekend. There were a lot of good matches actually. I watched the Milan Udinese match, and it was a good match to watch. I would recommend you guys going and watching the highlights. And Milan won eventually 4-2, but I think Udinese scored first, and then Bayern, AC Milan equalized, and then it was a really interesting match, and Roma also won, and the stadium was absolutely buzzing with Jose Mourinho, revitalized and
Getting
giving
all
the
his
supporters
signings.
lot of hope, and he got a couple of good signings as well. And he himself said that they are much better now than last year. And at Juventus won 3-0. Di Maria scored, and they effectively had an easy win. Yeah, so Inter
So
Milan Leeds was also a good match with Lukaku scoring. It wasn't a surprise; it was a headed goal, I think. Yeah, so that
any
is it.
predictions? Your Serie A predictions, if you wanted to do it now.
Serie A, I would think both the Milan sides are really good, and Juventus and Roma would be fourth, I think.
Oh,
So
okay,
that would be my for prediction right now.
okay. Yes. So
But
let's
it's
move on.
early days. It's early
Yes.
days, so
Yeah. We'll keep an eye on Serie A as well.
yeah,
At least it's an interesting league compared to other leagues. Yes.
yep.
So let's
So
move on to FPL. So
another game week where Mayur outscores me. This is like the Mark and Ash thing last year, where
the initial
Mark
season of Black
outscored
Box.
Ash every game, and Ash used to rant about it. And I'm sure that one day and one season I'll get over I'll get one over you. And so this is my youth team with 67 points, which is 17 points more than the average, and mine is 45 with a -4. So
Nine
this 45
points.
is with the -4, right? Or
No,
is it
I
41?
41. It should be 41.
40. Oh, sad life. Yeah, so I expected much better from the Liverpool boys. And, what is a concern? Cash also is a concern. I might as well wildcard as soon as possible.
Okay,
What are
brave
your
calls.
plans?
I already made the transfers yesterday night. Bailey was going to drop in price, so I went for Diaz and I took out Robertson and took in Neko Williams for him. I had two free transfers, so I think missing Nunes might benefit Diaz, and
Salah.
he has looked good
Oh,
up till now.
Salah,
So
yeah.
yeah, so hopefully he outscores Robertson, and Liverpool have a good run of fixtures, and they have a good fixture next week as well, which is a very high scoring one, I think. So yeah.
Let's hope not. Even though I have two defenders, I'm sure they won't concede, so that is safe. It's about Salah or Diaz scoring a hat trick, because Diaz can run riots on that United backline with Dalot playing on that end. Oh my God! I just realized it's Diaz versus Dalot in the next match. That is so. If you are captaining Diaz or Salah, I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm not
So I
sure.
think,
I'm not
who
sure.
are you captaining this week?
Maybe Jesus as well. Not yet sure about it. Let's see. Jesus, they play Bournemouth, so not sure where to go. Still contemplating. Let's see after the press
Yeah.
conference from
So
various managers.
yes, so if you are watching us, this is our league code. You can come and join us and play against us, and it would be fun to have you guys join us. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to Never Onside on Spotify and YouTube. And we are coming up with a lot of fun stuff. And this Saturday, do you have this Monday night? Do you
Monday
have
night.
anything planned, Mayur? Yeah, so this would
Yes.
be live watch along which we are planning. Hopefully, if our jobs, align with this, and if we have enough time, we'll definitely. We are looking forward to doing this, and you can also join us at 12:30 to hear me rant about United and Mayur's happy face and United concedes. I'm just hoping that United comes out with a draw at least. And it's at Old Trafford, and the fans have planned a walkout protest
Yes.
to
Yes.
keep the
Hopefully the
stadium.
match. Yes. Hopefully the match
Uh,
doesn't get cancelled.
yeah, yeah. So this will be fun, I'm sure. So join us on 12:30 a.m. on 23rd August, and we'll have a fun time. I hope you guys will have. You get super chats on YouTube, right?
Yes. Yes. But it's time for that. For those who are listening on Spotify, we will be live streaming on YouTube. So if you are interested, we'll be doing a live watch along of the game United versus Liverpool. That is on 23rd August, 12:30 a.m. So do join us on our YouTube channel. The YouTube channel name is Never On Site. All the links are in the description, so you can check out. And do join us for the live watch along. Till then, we'll take a leave. Bye.
Bye.